my name's Jade, and today we're going to be talking about In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. The darkest minds never fade in the afterlight. This is the third and final book in the Darkest Minds trilogy, and all of the excitedness, I don't know what else you want me to say, is the last book in a really good trilogy. If you had not read The Darkest Minds yet, then just don't listen to me, fine, whatever, I don't care. Darkest Minds is basically one of my favourite books ever, so you should really go read it, and then you should read the second one and then the third one. This is my least favourite of the trilogy. It just wasn't as fast or as action-packed, and it was very dense, and you could really feel the length in this one. The Darkest Minds will always be my favourite because it's one of my favourite books. I loved it so much. And then this one was kind of action-packed and kind of fun. Then it was also not as exciting as The Darkest Minds. Ow, I just hit myself in the head. So this is my favourite, this is my second favourite, and then In the Afterlight brings up the rear. I'm going to be spoiling In the Afterlight, so if you have not read it yet, I recommend you do not watch this because I will tell you everything that happens and you want to know what happens for yourself because, as I said, Darkest Minds, really, really good. So I'm going to ask you to leave if you have not read the book. Goodbye. We open up with this black thing. Black is the colour that is no colour at all. That was really nice. I liked that. I really liked the cover. I like the colours in the background. So we open up, right, and we're in this new HQ thing, and people are still trying to get rid of the kids. People are trying to get rid of these kids and kill them and stuff. And then that is basically a big no-no, and people are still trying to do it, still trying to sell them off and stuff. And then we moved to this new HQ where we spent the whole book. That really frustrated me. I needed to get out. I needed something to happen. I didn't like being stuck there because there was nothing to do, and Liam and Ruby kept arguing, and I just needed to get away. I needed something to happen, but it didn't. There was 2 or 3 action-packed sequences in the book, and in the first one, something would happen every 2 seconds. Anyway, we get back to this thing, right, and Kate and Vila get really mad at Cole and Ruby because of their plan to get rid of these jerks that are trying to sell away the kids. And then, of course, Kate gets caught because, she was stupid. I was so mad. Why? Of course they were doing it in their best interest. Do it for, I understand, it's your people, you need their help, whatever, and they took over with all the stuff. But that's their problem. It's not your problem. So just stop it. Cole said something about how maybe your personality affected what colour you are. I can't remember when we actually found out what caused it, if it said anything about that, but I thought that was interesting because that could be true. Maybe the slightly smarter, more intelligent, mindy people were greens, and then maybe the people who were really good with tech and stuff were yellows, and maybe the people who had anger issues were red. It's a good thought. It could well happen. Liam and Ruby just constantly arguing, constantly bickering, constantly clashing heads. They need to be a united team and they need to stop it. I was so frustrated. I mean, majority of the time I was on Ruby's side, but I can understand how Liam feels left out and how everyone keeps picking on him, but then he would purposefully do what they said not to do. When he got that reporter camera lady, I was so mad at him. Why would he do that when he specifically told him not to for a good reason? He's gonna get them all killed. Stop it, just listen to them, trust them, please. And Ruby was trying to help him, but then she wasn't listening, and their communication. I love Liam and Ruby. They're one of my OTPs of life. I love them together. I love Liam, but I'm okay with him being with Ruby. It's rare that happens. No one just no, they're mine. But I love them together. I love Liam, I love Ruby, and they just talk. It's so frustrating because we're stuck in HQ with them stuck together. However, when they were together, they were really, really cute. I really liked it when Ruby and Vila finally had that argument about Zoo. I really loved Ruby and Vila's relationship, and it started building in their favor, but then it really was and they're always gonna be there for each other. Whenever they wanted to get something done, they looked at each other. I love the way that's developed. Their characters are so well done. I can't believe it's over. We're leaving them. Clancy, I was really conflicted about him because I didn't trust him, but I was getting to a stage where he was making sense. What he was saying was legit. It was remember when Valentine and he said what he wanted to do, and you're well, yeah, all those things are true. It was kind of like that situation, because he was saying about how Ruby should gather the kids up and train them and do it on our own because the adults can't be trusted. And obviously, I don't know if you knew about Colt at this point. That would be a good idea because I didn't trust all of them put together to come out with the right solution because they all had such different opinions and no one could agree on anything ever. So it was worrying, and I was thinking that she could take off with the kids and do it on her own, and maybe that'd be a good idea and stuff. And some of the things Clancy was saying was right. Worrying stuff. Her character development, I just say it like 1,000 more times, it's just so good, it's just... And then Cole just wouldn't tell Liam that he was a red. It would help their relationship so much, and they would get on so much, and just the whole situation, Liam and Ruby wouldn't argue half as much because it would mostly be about their different opinions. And if Liam knew about Cole, then he could be trusted more with more responsibility because he could have been doing that anyway. It's just that he couldn't because he couldn't know that Cole was a red. I really wanted that to happen sooner. And then she found that piece of paper, and it was like, I love Ruby. If she ever does anything, she doesn't mean it. First of all, why can't he have the piece of paper in case anything goes wrong? Just in case. He doesn't know what could happen. And then the way she just kind of blamed him for it, and that part wasn't fun either. So we find out about the actual cause, and it's terrorists. It wasn't what I was thinking, but it wasn't like Allegiant where it was just like, oh. It was still somewhat interesting. It just wasn't quite as like big as you ever build it up in your mind to be. And that we were attacked by these biobomb things, and so they came up with this chemical to neutralize it so everyone didn't die from the poisoning. And then the pregnant woman gave birth to these babies, and when they hit puberty they kind of went weird. I mean, they didn't mean harm, but they still, obviously they should have fixed it or told people or not like take it on the kids, but at least they weren't like purposefully trying to kill the kids, if you get what I mean. And then the cure isn't even a cure, it's something that you have to keep doing for your whole life, and it's this really painful, horrible thing. And at the end, when they said about if you're under 18, your parents have to choose for you, and then you have to get sent off anyway if you don't want the abortion. And Chubbs was just like, no. I love Chubbs so much. I trust that team now that Chubbs is on their side, and then that woman was kind of like spurring him on, so yay. And then finally, Cole talks to Liam, and Ruby decides she doesn't actually want to take the cure anymore, which I was really excited about because I was like, no, Ruby, you're like amazing and you can do all this stuff and you're so cool. Why would you want to give that up? I'm like, I understand how it messes with you. And, you know, she kind of sees herself as a monster. Building shelves. Chubb just casually walks out. Yeah, I was just building shelves. 2 seconds later, Vita walks past. I loved that whole bit. That section was the best. And then Cole dies, and that's when we know everything's gonna go downhill. Clancy, the sleepwalking, I didn't see that coming. So here I am warming up to him because he's actually, you know, got decent views, although Cole was stupid and went in and talked to him on his own. And then he went and goes and, you know, he's brainwashing Ruby to do all this stuff for him, and the people come. I just don't trust Clancy, dude. I feel like there wasn't enough restraint on him. I loved when Nico was having a go at him. Because, yeah, you go Nico. Nico in the last book I didn't really care about because he didn't have any character development, but he really built in this one, and he was just done wonderfully, and I really liked him at the end. I wrote, Clancy, I knew I liked you! I really like how it's full circle, how she started in the infirmary at Thurmod, and she finished in the infirmary at Thurmod. It was just, I really, the nostalgia of the first book. And then Sam, and we got to see her again, and she remembered her. It was just the best thing ever. And then how she finished the story, and she had to go back to free the people, and then she's talking to them as well the night before, and they were like, how's the word? And she's like, it's almost ready. For what? For us. And then, you know, she gets tortured and it's horrible. Of course. But then Liam came to get her, and it was all wonderful again, and it was all okay. Just from the minute Liam came to get her till I kid you not, the very last page, just crying so hard, not even like weeping, not even like a few tears, just sobbing and crying like a baby. It can't be over, and it's all so beautiful and happy. And Harry started that whole darling thing. I really liked finding out like about Harry. I really liked finding out about Harry and like their dad and that kind of stuff. That was, you know, you really get a bigger sense for Cole and Liam and their relationship and their family, and it was so touching. Just the whole end was marvellous, and then when she wakes up and Grams is there and she sees her parents again and she's with Liam, and the very end they take off because, you know, they want to have as much time with each other whilst they can, and their relationship is so good. It's so marvellous. The escaping of the camp especially, I was crying, and then the very end when she saw her parents and stuff, I was crying a lot as well then. It was just so touching and happy that it's all finally okay and everything works out for the best and everyone's gonna be okay now, and Ruby and Liam are gonna be together forever. That very end bit is probably my favourite, like, very ending to a series ever, excluding Clockwork Princess, but I think they're even. I think it was a solid conclusion. It wrapped everything up, told you everything you needed to know. We really got our characters in as well, which is always so nice. I could have done with a little more action. I just needed something was within the HQ, and I would like to see a little bit more of that battle at the end when they were getting out of Thermos. I really can't believe that it's over. I mean, I love these characters so much. I don't want to be finished with them. It just felt like it flew by so fast. I'm not ready for them to not be in my life anymore. I could literally just read about their life. I give The Darkest Minds a 10 out of 10. Never Fade, I'm pretty sure I gave it like an 8 out of 10. This one, I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10 because I liked it, but I had issues with it. Darkest Minds is probably my favourite cover because it's really pretty. It's really, 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 really nice. You always think the last book's gonna be so epic and so wonderful, and then what if it's not? I'm gonna leave a link to the song down below. I've got multiple songs jumping around in my... No! I know what it is! Shh! I take that back, I know what it is. It's Monster by Imagine Dragons. It's so good. It just reminds me of like Cole and Ruby so hard, and I love it, and it's so good. Listen to it. I love Imagine Dragons. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome morning, afternoon, evening / night. My name's Jade. I hope I'll see you again next time. Bye! In the Afterlight by Alexandra. My camera died and so it literally just cut off, and that was that. That was just, nope, we're not doing any more of this.